Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Bracha Kodash. Double honors, as always, to the apostles and elders of Great Mosque and rule well. And Shalom to the elect, starting with 144,000, the elect of Yahawashi, the elect of Israel. And it's going to be a real quick lesson on the dietary law. Okay, and if you got Israelites there, which you do, there's a video going around that, apostles and brothers are doing videos on. If you got people out there telling you that it's okay, because that's what Christians do, telling you it's okay to eat unclean animals such as pork, pig, then that's off. Okay, we don't eat against the dietary law. We keep the dietary laws. That's in the scriptures. Okay. That's the same. You got Israelites that are doing this. That's the same level of. You're basically on the same level as on them Christians. Because I used to work in a cinema. In a cinema, I used to have a church that would hold their church, whatever their procedures were on a Sunday. And I remember I just kind of was newly getting into the truth. I was watching videos and learning at this time. And I knew, look, you're not meant to be eating pork, which I didn't eat pork anyway because my parents are like, you could say it's an Islamic background, although they're not strict. So I wasn't kind of raised eating that anyway. But I knew that in the scriptures you couldn't eat it, okay, in the Bible. So when I was looking at these people and they were eating pork sandwiches, I was like, what the hell's wrong with them? Okay. So, that's just the Christian. That's just, they're believing in madness. Okay. But you calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite and you're trying to tell the people it's okay to eat pork. You're going off, man. All right. And I'm going to go into the scriptures. Right, now this is Acts chapter 10, and what I want to do specifically is to say that Acts the 10th chapter, when you read it, okay, this is after our Lord Yahawashi had already ascended, okay, in Acts the 1st chapter, right? Let's start from verse, Acts chapter 10, verse 10. Well, let's start from 9 for the context. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven opened and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. So you had unclean things in there too. Okay, animals that were not set up for us to eat. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, now this is the point, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. Why? Why was Peter doing that? And you got it in the NLT here. It says, No, Lord, Peter declared, I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure and unclean. All right, which is the laws in the Torah, the Mosaic law. Okay, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Okay, so Peter said, I ain't going to eat that. Now we understand what this was about. This was about, when you read it, because the Lord's going to go into, in the next verse, he's going to go into it. This was about, because this was, when you read Acts the 10th chapter, it's talking about Cornelius. And this was the acceptance of, the Israelite foreigners into the fold. Those Israelites who had, gone into the Greekish fashion, through the Hellenization that was going on during, the Greek Empire and into the Roman Empire, the Greco-Roman Empire, Antiochus. And you can read about that in the Maccabees. In fact, I might quickly just go to that quickly. And then, so a lot of our people, They went into the ways of the Greekish fashions, and they left the ways, okay, of their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and what the Lord was doing was the Lord was bringing back into the fold those that were of the chosen, of the fold of Israel, back from out of their heathenistic ways. And that's the same thing that's happened to us today. We've all been born in this world, this wicked world that's run by Esau. It's wicked because it's run by Esau, okay? And who's turned this paradise into hell. And pretty much, we're coming out of all the heathenistic ways, whatever mindset. I just told you, I said, look, my parents, they're from like an Islamic background, it's different kind of beliefs and stuff. I ain't gonna go into detail, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. All right, so when I was raised, I had elements of that in me, okay? But when I come to the truth, I put all those heathenistic things away, and you get renewed in your mind through the statutes, the scriptures, the truth of the scriptures. All right. Now, so that's what was happening. Okay, let's get a quick precept on that, man. Let's go to Maccabees. Let me read it. First Maccabees, chapter 1. Let's go straight to verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. This is talking about Alexander the Greek, okay, the Macedonian. People call him Alexander the Great. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied on the earth. And you had these different generals that took over different parts of his empire, man. Like you had Ptolemy down to the south in Egypt. Okay, you had the Seleucid line in the Middle East. Okay, the so-called Middle East. It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, and Antiochus came out of the Seleucid line, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, meaning go away from the law. Okay, do the heathenistic things. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. So that's what was happening back in that time, man. All right. You had many that fell into that way, and that's why when you're reading it in the New Testament, and what we're reading the Israelite foreigners. Okay, when it's just talk about Jew or Greek, it's talking about Israelites that were in a Greekish fashion. They were, they might have been speaking Greek, wearing Greek clothes, okay? But then they come back into their those of the household of faith will come back into finding out who they are, what they some of them might know. So you had a whole history there, okay? So that's what Acts the 10th chapter is talking about, starting with Cornelius, which was an Israelite, all right? But I'm using this as an example to say that when Peter was seeing the vision, but that's what he was seeing. He was seeing these animals, and he was saying, "Look, Lord, I don't, Lord, eat." He said, "No, I don't eat that because it's unclean. It's against the law. I've never done that, Lord." Okay. Now he didn't turn around and say, "Well, the law's done away with. I'll just do what I want now." He didn't say that. Okay. You don't just eat what the hell you want. That's just madness. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God have cleansed, that call not thou common. So what the Lord is the one who's going through what cleansing, okay, us. Okay. How can a young man cleanse his ways? Psalms 119 verse 9, by taking heed to the word thereof. So you had those of the fold that were out there living that life as if they were Greeks. They were coming back into the fold, man. That's why you got the different churches spread around. Okay, when you read about the letter to the Thessalonians or to the Corinthians, where do you think Corinthian and Thessalonian, where do you think these Thessalonica, where do you think these places are? In Greece. Okay. And Paul was getting on them in these letters saying, look, you doing this is off, because he had to put them in line, man. All right, back into our ways. Okay, how about Shemi Shai's ways? Okay, so that's just a quick example, and I'm going to go to the law just to back that up. Okay, these laws, as the NLT says, Jewish laws, which we're not Jewish. Okay, we are the true Jews. Okay, we are that's the kingdom of Judah. Okay, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but we are the true Israelites, man. All right. Right, this is Leviticus chapter 11, and let's get straight to the point. Verse 7. And the swine, which you see in NLT says the pig, right? The pork, the bacon, whatever you want to call it. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. What does it mean to chew the cud? If you ever go up to like a cow, or you go up to a lamb, all right, what do a sheep, what do you see? When they're chewing the food, they have a whole system where they ingest it and then they bring it back up. You actually see it like a ball moving in their neck. Okay? So they're going through a process of cleaning out that food when they're digesting it. Okay? Sheep, so got something called ruminant animals. They've got multiple stomachs. They've got a whole process to clean. That they're clean to eat. Okay? A sheep, a goat, a cow, to give some examples, they're clean to eat. Deer, venison, right? Our forefather Isaac, he had that. Okay, when he was blessing Esau and Jacob. So it's in the law, man. Okay. Even says you're not meant to touch their carcass, man. So, it's just straight to the point. There's no way getting around it. And anyone that follows after that guy, you're lost. So this was just a quick one, and Lord willing, it was edifying. And on to the next one. Shalom.